Trump's goons shoot 2 more people in Portland, Oregon. Trump and his people are completely out of control.
No! No!
President Donald Trump weighed in on the fatal shooting of a woman by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. In a post on social media blaming who he called the radical left, Trump backed authorities' version of events, saying, "The woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense." Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem also defended the ICE agent by claiming the woman tried to run the agent over with her vehicle. Multiple witnesses at the scene tell CNN the woman was not acting aggressively prior to the shooting.
No!
You've probably seen a lot of videos like these, showing masked, anonymous agents dragging people off the streets into unmarked vans across the U.S. But how can ICE officers get away with doing all of this?
You didn't get out. You can't even identify yourself.
And as the agency is about to become the biggest law enforcement force in the country, next to Trump and his big budget bill, is what we're seeing just the beginning. But the key thing to know is that the agency we call ICE aren't actually police. You might think, because they're not police, that makes them less powerful. But under the Immigration and Nationality Act, the force actually operates with fewer constraints and less transparency than police do. For example, police officers are typically supposed to, identify themselves, tell people why they're detaining them straight away, wear official uniforms, body cameras, have their faces uncovered. ICE agents don't have to do any of that. They do eventually have to tell you that they're immigration agents after your arrest. Now,
Slovakia.
Homeland Security claims ICE officers wear masks because they'd be doxxed if they didn't, but it's still a glaring accountability issue.
Okay. Now, let's go over here to 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 67. I go into it all the time. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 67. Behold, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. The trouble is coming is called Jacob's trouble. Like it says in Jeremiah chapter 30, right? Verse 6. Now let me ask you a question. Do men give birth to babies? Then why do they stand there ashen-faced, hands pressed against their sides like a woman in labor? Right? In all history, there has never been such a time of terror. It will be a time of trouble for my people Israel, yet in the end they will be saved. KJV, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke. Whose yoke? Esau's yoke of oppression, taxes, going to work every day, spiritual Sodom in Egypt, the whole fucking thing, right? From off thy neck. Whose neck? The inhabitants of Babylon, right? And of the elect of the house of Judah, the elect of the house of Israel, right? And will burst thy bonds. What bonds? The bonds of sin and iniquity. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of them. Who are these strangers? Esau, Edom, and the nations, okay, that own all these corporations in different countries, where our people have been scattered to as part of our punishment, but they came and behind the Most High and enslaved us. Rape, murder, pillage, like it says in John chapter 10, verse 10, the thief cometh not before to steal, kill, and to destroy, right? But they shall serve the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Right? So, let's go back to 2nd Ezra again. So shall Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. See? So those that are going to be delivered were already predestinated to, or predetermined for deliverance out of Jacob's trouble from the foundation of the world. Okay? So those individuals are those that fear the Lord. And okay, let me find out. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. Right? Then they that feared the Lord spake often one unto another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. So he's only coming for those individuals that think upon his name, that know his name, and that fear him. Like it says in Ecclesiastes, where is that? All right. Chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Right? So, you're pretty much finished. Okay? What is it? No, not that. Not 2 Thessalonians. I think it's 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 10. No. Not Thessalonians. It's Corinthians, isn't it? Yeah. Right? Salakia. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, being fully persuaded in the Holy Spirit to stand on street corners, standing boldly before the face of those that have afflicted us with oppression, taxes, and having to go to work every day, whether your body hurts or not. Okay. You know, that make no account of our labor, of what we're doing. Don't give a shit. Drive right on by. Don't care. You know, they don't care what we're doing, you know, because they don't care about us. They never have. Right? But we are made manifest unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and I trust also made manifest in your consciences. Right? So, like I said before, you know, in Ecclesiastes, that's our whole deal, man. And those individuals that are going to be saved, right, are found here. Isaiah chapter 10. Where was I? I moved it, didn't I? Verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, you know, those that fear the Most High, keep his commandments and thought upon his name, right? And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, right? So we're not going to be trusting in Esau-Edom system anymore. They're going to shut off the power. They're going to shut off the lights. They're going to come after us on our jobs, okay? I just heard a video. I just watched a video of individuals talking about on TikTok that ICE is going to start going door to door, knocking people's motherfucking door. And if they don't answer the door, I'm going to smash it in and just raid your house. You might be slung balls to the wall, deep in you and your old lady doing the do. Motherfucker just kick your goddamn bedroom door in and shoot everybody in the fucking bed and say, we thought you were a terrorist. Or we thought that our lives were in danger. We feared for our life. Wait a minute. This motherfucker was having sex with his wife and you kicked his goddamn door in. Okay, in the middle of the whole thing, and you feared for your life. What was he going to kill you with? His dick? Okay. What was she going to do with it? Was she going to drown you? What the fuck, man? Come on, dude. But this is ICE, man. They have no impunity. They're not being blamed. They have diplomatic immunity. Okay? Diplomatic immunity. Let's get it quick. Diplomatic immunity definition. Boom. Diplomatic immunity is a principle of international law. And we all know that Donald Trump is the man of lawlessness. He doesn't obey international law, or else he never would have went over to Venezuela and captured in a sovereign territory, in a sovereign nation, a sovereign president. That's his business. That's his area. That's his shit. Right? And arrest him and then charge him with fault in the United States federal courts system, you know, and he ain't did nothing wrong except go outside of the U.S. petrodollar in order to do business with other nations and just cut America, the middleman, the fuck out of the way. That's the only reason. That's the reason why he went in there. Steal their natural resources, put his ass in jail, and tell a lie. All the nations that are currently doing business with America now are trying to find alternative means to do business with each other without interference of America. All nations are doing it now. And hell, if he's done it to Venezuela and Maduro, he sure as hell going to do it to us. We need to stop doing business with America and their petrodollar right now. Fuck them. Let's drop that shit off in the sea. That paper money is useless. I ain't dealing with that paper no more. They're going to start making laws internationally, okay, with the World Tribunal, all of that, okay, and make it illegal for their individual countries to do business with the U.S. petrodollar. America is going to become very broke very quickly because that petrodollar is going to become very useless. Toilet paper, pretty much. I got a video on this channel about that too. Anyway, diplomatic immunity is a principle of international law that protects foreign government officials, okay, that protects ICE, and Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, right? Government officials, diplomats, from prosecution and legal jurisdiction in the host country, right? Well, ICE is an American institution, isn't it? It's a governmental institution, right? To stop illegal immigration in the United States. Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with being in a host country. I mean, they're part of the fucking government system, right? Allowing them to perform their duties without interference, ensuring effective government relations, but it doesn't grant license to break laws, and the host nation can waive it with immunity levels varying by rank, codified by the Vienna Convention. And the Vienna Convention, okay, is being violated. Let me see if I can. Yeah, can I get that? Okay. Let me get Vienna Convention. Okay. Vienna Convention, and then we're going to go back to Second Esdras. Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Immunity, right? The Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, 1961, is a key international treaty that establishes the rules for diplomatic missions and immunities between countries, codifying long-standing customs to ensure the efficient performance of diplomatic functions. It grants privileges like immunity from local jurisdiction and inviolability to diplomats. So diplomatic immunity only applies to diplomats. ICE is not a diplomatic agency. It is a police force. See? So Donald the chimp, he acts lawlessly based on international law. He goes around and circumvents international law to get what he wants. He just takes what he wants. He doesn't live in reality. He never has. Right? Not for personal benefit. What do you mean diplomatic? ICE is using diplomatic immunity for personal benefit of MAGA, Make America White Again, or Make America Great Again, and Donald the Chimp. Right? But to protect them from coercion by the host country. ICE is not protecting anybody. And the local police forces have threatened that they're going to start bringing in state by state the National Guard against ICE. That's civil war. Okay? Thereby fostering friendly relations. The convention defines roles like head of mission, diplomatic agent. Right? How is ICE a diplomatic agent when they're going from house to house, kicking people's door in, putting people the fuck out of the country who've been American citizens for over 20 years that have a visa, all of this, everything. That they have lives established. School teachers, doctors, principals, senators, governor, come on, man. The convention defines roles of head of mission, diplomatic agent, and outlines the scope of these immunities, which vary by staff level, diplomatic, administrative, and service, right? And then it goes off into some of the key principles and provisions of what the Vienna Convention was supposed to do concerning diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity is to ensure diplomats can function freely and effectively for their government. So is ICE, does diplomatic immunity apply to them acting lawlessly, breaking laws, putting women to sleep, Edomite women, no less, shooting them 3 times in the face at point blank range and fabricate a goddamn lie on nationwide, worldwide TV. Right? Okay. Is this what the military, U.S. military, going to start doing to other countries? They've been doing that to other countries in the global South. Okay. And in so-called Middle Eastern, Mediterranean countries for decades. Okay. Since British rule. Okay. To ensure diplomats can function freely and effectively for their government and not for personal benefit, protecting official communication and sovereignty. They're not protecting anybody's sovereignty as sovereign U.S. citizens. They're putting their ass in jail and shoot you in your fucking face. Okay? It's supposed to protect diplomats from arrest, detention, searches, and most civil and criminal laws in the host country, though it's generally limited to official functions with exceptions for grave crimes. Okay? Is the shooting of that woman, Renee Good, okay, the woman that got shot in the face 3 times, is that a grave crime? See, so that means ICE is not eligible for diplomatic immunity through the Vienna Convention. Okay? They have violated international law by trying to invoke international law. They're lawless. See? Okay. Right? Okay. Now let's go back up here to, where was I at? 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. Okay. Verse 67 I was at, I think it was. For behold, verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Who are they? ICE. They're going to take away certain of you, right? Like it says in Revelation. Okay. Chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, who controls these demons, Salakia, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which is basically a certain amount of time that you're going to be incarcerated and arrested by these goddamn godless devils, these lawless animals, right? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. I just saw a video, because I'll be doing research online about this stuff, and ICE now has 32. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Boom. ICE has 32 different individuals.
Trump's goons.
Yep, Trump's goons. Right. Okay, that was just it. That was just it, wasn't it? Hold on, that was just it. I think it was it. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about.
That it has been decades since the U.S. has seen this sort of thing. Now, I know a lot of you wrote to me about, is this the start of the Civil War, David? Let's table that for a moment for the next segment. Here is what we have learned about what Minnesota and Minneapolis are planning. Again, here is Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey with a message for ICE in the aftermath of the killing of 37-year-old Renee.
There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
Now, we heard of America right now, Trump's ICE goons. Listen to this.
We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community. They're business owners. They're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait. We do not need any further help from the federal government.
All right.
Okay. So, now they're talking about they're going to go and do all kinds of shit now. Hold on.
some news right now. Donald Trump is furious after 5 Republicans joined Senate Democrats in advancing a war powers resolution to curb his ability to conduct military strikes in Venezuela without congressional authorization. He just put out a Truth Social post saying that the 5 Republicans who joined Democrats, these include Josh Hawley, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Todd Young, Rand Paul, and Susan Collins, should, quote, never be elected to office again. Susan Collins is one of the Republicans up for re-election this year in a hotly contested race in Maine. So now Trump is saying that Susan Collins theoretically should never be elected to office again, should not be re-elected. He says Republicans should be ashamed of the senators that just voted with Democrats in attempting to take away our powers to fight and defend the United States of America. He then goes on saying, any event, and despite their stupidity, the War Powers Act is unconstitutional, totally violating Article 2 of the Constitution. It's not unconstitutional, by the way. Spread the word, follow along, stay up to date on all the news.
Okay. You know, this is what Trump's up to. Okay. Okay. It's crazy, but let me see.
Message for Trump and or message for Governor Walz?
Who was that? You mean the draft-dodging coward? I don't call him by name. He's the draft-dodging coward who, when it was his time to serve his country, he did what all rich white boys did. I wasn't a rich white boy. I grew up in South Minneapolis. Most of me and all my friends are Vietnam veterans. We had to go. But the rich white boys never had to go, did they? And he didn't have to go, did he? And yet he's going to tell me what courage is?
Okay. Okay. You know, man, everybody's going in on this cracker, man. Okay, everybody's going in on this motherfucker, man. Okay, now he wants to, look, Trump versus Maduro, hegemony or legal, or moral legitimacy. Okay? Man, come on, man. Donald Trump ain't got no morality. He's not a moral man. He never has been. Okay? Let me see. Where was we at, man? I was, right. I think this is it.
Time for the Trump dump.
A lot that happened this week, and so I struggled on where I was going to start on this one. But earlier this week, Trump spoke to House Republicans for 84 minutes. He said a lot, but this line jumped out at me.
You have so many good nuggets. You have to use them. If you can sell them, we're going to win.
This isn't a messaging problem. It's not that Republicans just aren't selling his agenda well enough. No, Trump has a reality problem. That is what's hurting Republicans. When Trump is telling Washington everything is great, Americans are living in something very different. Affordability isn't a hoax. It's a reason elections are won and lost.
But I wish you could explain to me what the hell's going on with the mind of the public.
Well, since you asked, let me help you out. This is not what we voted for. We voted.
Right. They voted for the continuation of white privilege and white supremacy through oppression. Okay? That's what it's about. Anyway, I already did the David Pakman show, I think it was. Okay, in front of the White House. Okay, see, Trump responds to fatal. Okay. You know.
President Donald Trump weighed in on the fatal shooting of a woman by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. In a post on social media blaming who he called the radical left, Trump backed authorities' version of events, saying, "The woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense."
Okay, now we all saw the video. We know that's a goddamn lie. Okay, so when ICE comes for you, when they're coming, okay, they're talking about going door to door. Yeah, they're going door to door. And, they're going to start asking questions and all kinds of other shit, right? Now, the burning wrath of a great multitude of this ICE agency, because ICE, you just saw that they just added another 220 to 250,000 recruits to ICE. Okay, so these people could break the law, violate diplomatic immunity, violate the Vienna Convention, and violate international law, as well as the sovereignty of the host country of its citizens. You know, in other words, they can act lawlessly and without with impunity, without any blowback from the government. The government supports them, right? So nobody goes to jail for murder. Nobody goes to jail for anything. You see? 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. Those are the 250,000 recruits that have just signed up with ICE. They have consented unto Immigration's Customs and Enforcement for what, an extra $50,000, $100,000 sign-up bonus, right? Shall be had in derision, right? Okay, let's get derision definition. Let's get it. Hold on. Derision definition. Boom. Derision, contemptuous ridicule or mockery. Okay, so they're gonna mock you, right? Talk shit on you. Oh, you stupid monkey, you stupid porch monkey, you stupid, I mean, you know. And in reproach, let's go get reproach. Okay, reproach. Reproach definition. Boom. Let's get it. Reproach means to express disapproval or criticism, or the act or expression of blame, shame, or disgrace, often involving fault finding or an expression of disappointment. Like when someone is said to be beyond reproach, faultless, or brings reproach, which is shame, on their family. It signifies blame, censure, discredit, or something that causes shame. Okay? The blame game. Right? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Okay? Now this insurrection, let's get it. Insurrection. Insurrection. Definition. Okay? An insurrection is a violent organized uprising or revolt by a group against an established government or authority, aiming to overthrow it, differing from a riot by its coordinated nature and goal to seize power, often involving armed conflict and posing a serious threat to political stability. Okay, that is insurrection, right? Now, this great insurrection is going to be against individuals such as ICE and other police forces that are going to join forces, okay, in order to violate your sovereignty as U.S. citizens by calling you domestic terrorists. Why? Because once the martial law is implemented, they're going to be able to implement the Noahide laws. And if you violate the Noahide laws, you can be put to death. Remember, Donald Trump in 2017 converted to Judaism. Okay? In 2017, while he was still president of the United States, he converted to Judaism. Okay? In order to get away from the Epstein files. Okay? That way, if he's implicated in the Epstein files, he can travel to Israel and he would get diplomatic immunity. Okay? Right the fuck away. He's free from all charges of that host country. Remember, we just read it. See? Now, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So if you call upon the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you're immediately a DT, a domestic terrorist. Okay? You're one of these individuals that they hate, that they're watching after. Okay? That they want to pick up, put you in prison for 5 years is what they're saying. Right? They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Right? And those individuals that fear the Lord, okay, hold on, where was we at? Boom. Or individuals like this. Amos chapter 5, verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Right? Okay, sure do. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. So those that watch for iniquity are the watchmen standing on street corners, like it says in Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, therefore thereby give them warning from me. Roughly paraphrase. So those that watch for iniquity, which are us, are cut off, meaning the famine of the word. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Hold on. Where's we at? Verse 21. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. So we're reproveth using these video epistles, which have been scattered into all different platforms, social media platforms, and these Edomites are sitting at home and they're watching TV of us cussing their motherfucking ass out and revealing with the information that we found through diligent research and study, like the Bible told us to do, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the words of truth. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. That's what he told us to do. So by us putting this information out there, we're reproving in the gate of the nobles, like it says in Isaiah chapter 13. Right? That make a man an offender for a word, that lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And this snare is the famine of the word. This snare is making unjust laws and unrighteous decrees and grievousness that they prescribe, as it is written in Isaiah chapter 10, okay, to turn aside the needy from judgment, to take away the poor of the right of the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And they're robbing the fatherless children of these women that are codependent on daddy government, Uncle Sam, right? And the children are being robbed of their fathers to teach them the way they should go. That's the reason why it says in 2 Ezra, chapter 13, I think it is, menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And these monsters are being brought forth, okay, I think it's 2 Ezra chapter 13, or is it 9? It might be 7, 8, or 9. I can't remember, okay? I get so confused. You know, so many biblical scriptures come crashing in at once. Okay? But, yeah, and these monsters that these menstruous women are having, okay, because what it means by menstruous is unclean. These women are unclean because they're having sex on the cock carousel, jumping from penis to penis to penis. Okay? Okay, now these unclean menstruous women are bringing forth all of these different babies by different babies' daddies that have all these evil spirits on the women, and the women are the ones telling, are the man and the woman in the relationship trying to raise these kids. So they become monstrous. They're shooting 51, 57, and 56-year-old men in the back of the fucking head just to take their car. They're robbing old dudes on the street. If you ain't a homeless bum sitting on the street eating out of a trash can, that's the safest place for you to be, pretty much, is be poor and homeless. But if they see if you're a man of substance and you got something, they're coming to take your shit. Fuck you, blow your brains out, snatch your ass and pull you out on the ground, let you bleed to death and take off in your car. That's carjacking, man. That's highway robbery. Fuck it. Now, and then you got ICE coming in from the other side. These are all judgments from the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, man. Only thing that makes any sense. Okay. 2 Ezra chapter 16. Okay. Right. Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Now, this Renee Good may not have feared the Lord. It looks like she may have been one of the women that have left the natural use for that which is against nature. Possibly. Don't know. Okay. But it's the fact that these individuals are acting lawlessly. Like madmen, sparing no one. They won't even spare a white woman. Shoot a bitch 3 times in the face? Man, come on, man. Okay? On camera. And then deny and say she tried to hit him with the car. That bitch is trying to run. That's what these Edomites have been doing to us for decades, man. Shooting us in the back. We're trying to run from these motherfuckers, and they turn around and tell the law that, or tell the court system that they feared for their life. But you're shooting a little 16 and 17-year-old kid in the back 8 times, 6 times, 5 times, paralyzing him from the neck down and from the waist down. If he survives. Right? No bullshit. Okay? For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. They're going to start going door to door, casting people out of their house. Okay? Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So they're going to, you probably come into your house, they're probably going to arrest you and throw you into a goddamn detention facility or a FEMA camp, a Federal Emergency Management Agency camp. More than likely, like I said in Revelation chapter 2, verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, for behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, where there ye may be tried. Ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. See? So this is all a big test, people. Right? Hear ye, O my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh. So the only people that are going to get out of here are those that truly fear the Most High and thought upon his name. Let's go get it. Baruch, where's that? Chapter 2, boom. Verse 29. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude, right? Because the children of Israel shall number as the sands of the sea, but only a remnant shall be saved. Remember? Okay. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but, in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves, right? So we, like it says in Malachi 3 and 16, then they that fear the Lord spake often one unto another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written for him, for them that feared the Lord and thought upon his name. See? So, but in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. So those, we remember the way of our fathers which sinned before the Lord. Let's continue. And shall know that I am the Lord their power, and I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And how are they going to get the heart and ears to hear? Because the Most High in his gracious and abundant mercy is going to send amongst them prophets, right? Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 12. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. Who are the voice box of the Lord on the earth? O Son of man, I send thee as a watchman unto the house of Israel, right? Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. Okay? Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God, and hast scattered thy ways unto the strangers, which are the nations, under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord. So the prophets, okay, and the watchmen, those that watch for iniquity that are going to be cut off here shortly, okay, are the men that are the voice box of the Most High God in order to break these biblical prophecies down. Okay? Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you unto Zion. And this is my point, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which will feed you with knowledge and understanding. Okay? See? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has a way for his people to get out of this thing. But our people are hard-headed and stiff-necked, and they won't listen to common sense or reason. Right? Verse 31. Baruch chapter 2, verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. So the only people that think upon the Lord's name are those that fear him and keep his commandments, as it is written in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, for it is the whole duty of man. You see how everything comes together? Precept upon precept, precept upon precept. Oh, let's go read it. Isaiah chapter 28. What is it, verse 5? Let's start at verse 5. I can't remember. Okay. Okay, wow. Isaiah 28 and 5. In that day shall the Lord of hosts be a crown of glory, and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people. See, so he's only going to save a few, right? He's only going to save a few people. Okay, I'll go prove it. Let's go get 2nd Ezra chapter 8, I think it is. No, 56, right? Okay. Verse 62. 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 62. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. So it tells you that the Most High is only dealing with a few people. He ain't dealing with Tom, Dick, and Harry, Willie, Lunch Meat, Sam, Sausage, and everybody else. It ain't working like that. Okay? So he ain't trying to save everybody on the planet. He's just trying to save his elect that he had predetermined for salvation here in these last days to be covered by the blood of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, when they call upon his name and believe on his name and believe in the power through resurrection. These are individuals that are going to show you the way you should go. Because we're at the end of this Edomite rulership. They're like madmen sparing none. Did they spare Megan Good? Pop, pop, pop in the face. No. What the fuck you think they're going to do to a black chick, so-called? Or an Asian. Shit, the Asians, they're going to get the fuck out of here, man. they finna to leave. Okay, hold on. Baruch chapter 2. Where's I at? Boom, 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 boom. Verse 33. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. See? So a book of remembrance is being written for them before the Most High, for them that fear the Lord and spake often one another, thinking upon the name of the Lord in the land of their captivities. Okay? In the land of our captivity, which we're still captive, they're calling us African American. You can't be from two different continents. What the fuck? Okay? You're either one from Africa or you're from America. Which is it? Okay? So, if you go back through the Deuteronomy 28 and put that through the transatlantic slave trade, because they go together, you're going to find that you had so-called Americans in the land of Azareth that were shipped to Portugal, El Salvador, Guatemala, where was that? Chile, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil. Okay, real shit. From here, the so-called indigenous population and people that were already here, who are Gad, Reuben, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. This is where they came from. Okay, the so-called lost 10 tribes. Okay. Anyways, what was that? And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Abraham, Isaac, and Moab. Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. Abraham, Isaac, and Moab, Ammon. Abraham, Isaac, and Gabal. Abraham, Isaac, and the Philistines. Abraham, Isaac, and the Egyptians. Abraham, Isaac, and the Ethiopians. No. It says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob wrestled an angel. His name was changed to Israel. Okay, which means he who wrestles with God. Okay, and Jacob had 12 kids by 4 different women. What the hell, man? Okay. Okay, let me see if I can find this in here right quick. 4 different women. Boom. See if I can find it for you right quick. Nope, wrong one. See if I can find it. I think it's way down here, Salakia. Okay, hold on. I know it's in here. Yep, boom, boom, boom. Okay, Jacob's family. You see what I'm saying? Leah's servant, Zilpah, Rachel's servant, Bilhah. By these 4 women, all these kids were made. Okay, Leah had the most because, she's the oldest. And then it tells you who they are today. Right? Through Leah and Leah's servant, Zilpah. Hold on. Okay, you got Reuben, which are the Seminole Indians, Simeon, which are the Dominicans, Levi, which are the Haitians, Judah, the real Jews, which are the Negroes, Issachar, which are the Mexicans, Zebulon, which are the Guatemalans, Salvadorians, and Panamanians, Gad, which are the North American Indians, Asher, which are the Brazilians, Venezuelans, and Colombians, and Joseph, remember, half tribe of Manasseh are the Cubans, Ephraim are the Puerto Ricans, okay, Benjamin are the West Indians, Naphtali are the Chileans and Argentinians, and Dan, okay, was absorbed into the other tribes. Okay? So that's the reason why you got cockstrong individuals amongst all the tribes, man. hell, especially amongst Issachar, hell, they're the hardest workers, right? So, like I said before, man, Esau Edom is at the end of his rope. He's at the end of his rulership. He's fucked. He knows it, and he don't know what the fuck to do except come against God's chosen people to destroy them in order to make himself feel better. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Okay? So, they're not going to find the famine. They're not going to find the prophets that are standing on street corners telling these individuals to their face. Okay? Let's go get... what was that? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. What did they afflict us with? Oppression? You want a definition of affliction? Let's get it. Afflicted. Definition. Boom. Afflicted means being greatly distressed, troubled, or suffering from physical or mental pain, often due to disease, hardship, or emotional grief. Okay? And made no account of his labors. When they see it, who are they? The elite. Those individuals that are ruling over you lawlessly, breaking laws such as murder in broad daylight, on camera. Okay? Telling you, she was a domestic terrorist. Fuck that. Okay? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Right now, they're troubled with terrible fear, and they're trying to control the narrative. You had some guy by the name of Shlomo Kramer, some tech billionaire that crawled out from under a fucking rock, talking about he wants to do away with the First Amendment, which has freedom of speech, freedom of religion, your right to bear arms. You see what I'm saying? Second Amendment, that's what they're coming after next. To take your weapons away from you. Okay? They want you defenseless when they come in like a flood. Okay? And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they looked for. Right? Now, the strangeness of this salvation that they're referring to in this biblical passage, okay, are the so-called UFOs, okay, unidentified aerial phenomenon, found in, let's go to, where's the easiest one? Where am I? Matthew. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, right? Let's go to 30, right? Matthew 24 and 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. His elect, his elect, his elect, not everybody, his elect. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect. I have even called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Okay? So the Most High is going to save his elect. Okay? Isaiah 10 and 20 again. And then I'm going to close out. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob. What does the house of Jacob have to escape from? Jacob's trouble. Like it says in Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. The Most High has sent out his death angels in the form of these goddamn ICE customs and enforcement individuals and these martial law troops that are going to surround the United States. See, they are troubled with terrible fear. The elites at the top. And this terrible fear is causing them to fumble around in the dark and grope during the noonday as in the night for different ways to try to control the narrative. And they're fumbling over themselves, making hugely gigantic mistakes. And it's being made, all these mistakes are being made publicly and openly. And the people are waking up to their bullshit. So, but they can't control the narrative anymore, and they never will. So there's nothing they can do about it. Because you have too many people, they got to shut down the internet. There's got too many people making podcasts. You just seen me go through a bunch of videos of different individuals that have podcasts that are putting out their opinion, and people are agreeing with them. Okay, about the regime of this lawless society that they're trying to set up, right? And shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. That consumption decreed is found in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, where two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a third part shall be left therein. And I will bring that third part through the fire, and I will try them as gold is tried, and I will refine them as silver is refined, roughly paraphrased, through the fire of adversity. Okay? Stressing you out, putting you through the great test, right? Let's go beta, the great test. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, right? Right? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which will come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? Now, this hour of temptation is when they implement the radio frequency identification, aka microchip. Okay? When they implement that and make it mandatory in order to buy and sell in a cashless society. Okay? Revelation chapter 13, wasn't it? Okay. Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is going to happen during the hour of temptation. That hour could be a year. It could be a month. It could be until 2030. It could be even longer. Don't know. But there's going to be a considerable amount of individuals that are going to decide with Esau Edom for comfort of food, shelter, medicine, water, place to stay, clothing, okay, and transportation in order to continue in society, knowing that the society is fucking falling apart. Okay? This hour of temptation, the Most High is going to separate his elect in their minds and in their hearts to go to the prison where we would be tried, and we would be tried with tribulation for 10 days. Our faith will be tried, which found in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders had good report. Now, this faith is hope. So we hope and pray and believe in the resurrection through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach shedding his blood on the cross for the elect, the remnant of the house of Israel, who are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. For the most part, here in America, Babylon the Great, the land of Merathion, the land of double rebellion. Okay? Remember, this land was named after those that stole it from the indigenous population of people that were already here. How the fuck can you say that you discovered America? Cristobal Colon come over and say he discovered America when there were people already here. They used pseudoscience in order to justify the extermination and the genocide that they had applied toward the indigenous population of people that were already here. For 10 years to 40 years, Christopher Columbus, he bragged that he had never put his sword down, not one time. Okay, I can prove that right quick, Lord willing. Okay, let me see, where was we at? I know you're in here, you goddamn animal. Hold on, because it's in here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I know, because I took a screenshot of that off of Elder Malcolm's channel. I think it was Elder Malcolm's channel, about Cristobal Colon. There he is. Boom. Read this. The Indians are so naive and so free with their possessions that no one who has not witnessed them would believe it. When you ask for something they have, they never say no. To the contrary, they offer to share with anyone. They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colon. Okay? That is Christopher Columbus, an Edomite Caucasian white dude. Okay? An Ish. A J-O-O Ish. Okay? That's who he is. The fucker. And who financed the slave trade? the Ish, the Red Shield family, more than likely. See? So how can this motherfucker come over here to this country and say that he discovered the place when there were people already here that have been here for thousands of years? Doesn't make any sense. Okay. Anyway. So the hour of temptation is this mark, the radio frequency identification microchip, okay, the size of a grain of rice, that'll be put into your hand, okay? And this is a scary thing. You don't want this. Let me see if I can find you a picture of it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? You're going to have a choice. In their right hand or in your forehead. Okay? You understand? So the hour of temptation is coming. These motherfuckers are going to go door to door, like I told you. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Remember that. So if you don't call upon the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, you're finished. Last biblical verse. Got to get it. Joel, chapter 2, last verse. Boom. Okay. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. So the key here is that you have to know the name of the Lord. If you don't know the name of the Lord, you're screwed. Just that simple, man. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant who the Lord shall call. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can find a picture of the name of the Lord for you. Okay. So this way you'll understand what's going on and how deep this goes. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. The real name of the Father, his name is Yahweh, which means he is, he will be, he exists. The real name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. He saves, he delivers, he is salvation. Okay? All we're asking you to do, telling you to do, imploring you to do, trying to fully persuade you in the Holy Spirit to do, is to learn the name of the Lord, fear the Most High God, and keep his commandments. Do the best you can. The blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach will cover you where you make your mistakes in keeping the law. The law was never done away with. That's another lie set up by the evangelical Christian church. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.